Welcome to the Safe Wheel live stream where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and teach my proprietary Safe Wheel options trade system for free. We'll get into the numbers. Currently the system is up. I'll have to look at my number here. Safe Wheel is currently up about 4.1% year to date. Okay. Please type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that my audio is working. And be sure to post any questions that you might have regarding anything about options or thanks, guys. All right. So let's start with the earnings edge. The earnings edge. Well, here's the account, $8,694. And I traded Costco. And I'm going to do something a little different today or newer. I'm going to throw in a spreadsheet. So Costco down $1,127. So it took a pretty good hit on Costco. The record for the earnings edge since inception, 31, 17, and 6. And we can see the earnings edge in 2022. I started the account with $5,000, ended with 81.77, so I made around $3,200, up 63%. The S&P started at the SPY started at 474, and you can see it was down about 19.5% in 2022. Now 2023, you can see that the earnings edge is up about $517, up about 6.3. And the S&P 500 is up about 9.75. But if you look at the totals since inception, you can see that the earnings edge is up about 70% and the S&P is down about 10%. And one thing what I like to talk about here is largest drawdowns, and this is peak to trough. In other words, the highest it's been and then the lowest it's been. So in 2022, we had a 69% drawdown. So there's drawdowns in this earnings edge. And the S&P had a 27% drawdown. Now, so far this year, 2023, we've seen a 37% drawdown with the earnings edge, and the S&P has had almost a 10% drawdown from peak to trough. So in other words, it was at a high of about 417.50 and went all the way down to 381. So even though it's up year to date, and it's probably, so it's, it doesn't have a drawdown year to date, but from its highest point to its lowest point this year, you've seen almost a 10% drawdown on the S&P. That's peak to trough. Okay, let's take a look at the Premier Level 5. So you can see here the Premier back the spreadsheet here. Premier Level 5, 35,278. So I've updated this. So record 17 wins, 3 losses, and 6 break evens. Currently have 4 open positions. And in 2022, made about $3,600 or 12.2%. But we started on April 8th. So with the S&P starting on April 8th, had about a 19.48. Let me see if that's accurate. No, that's the same as if we started. I'm going to have to update this a little bit because this isn't. This needs to be since April 8th. So I'll change that. The PL5, the 2023 numbers up about $1,600, 4.85%. And then the S&P again up 9.75. Largest drawdowns. Difficult to kind of know these numbers because Thinkorswim doesn't really report these numbers accurately. So kind of estimated about a 5% drawdown. With the S&P down 20, largest drawdown in 2022, 27%. And of course this year. only about a 2% drawdown with the Premier Level 5 versus about 9.5. So you can see the overall since this is since so you can see that the Premier Level 5 is outperforming there. All right, so let's look at the safe wheel. We're trading Uber. You can see we're at $6,317 is the current price. That's $6,317. Okay, so the safe wheel did about 21.7% in 2022, where the S&P was down about 19.48. And then see this number, I think this is the number from April 8th. Yeah, there it is. So I need to kind of move those back. And then 2023 up about 3.81 with a 9.75. So you can see the S&P is outperforming. And peak to trough drawdown, though, the drawdown's been about twice as high with the S&P this year versus the safe wheel. So I guess they're kind of performing pretty equal in 2023 on a risk-adjusted return. But overall, you can see, well, these numbers aren't exactly accurate, about 25% return since inception for the safe wheel, and the S&P is down about 10%. So you can see that the safe wheel is vastly outperforming the S&P 500 when you throw in 2022. And I'll update that spreadsheet, make it a little cleaner next time. All right. So what are we going to do now? Let's talk about the safe wheel. Currently, I'm in Uber. I have a hedge. It has 116 days left, so I know it's good. If it was under 100, I would be, thinking about rolling it or getting rid of it. So I know that's good. Now, the other question is it within proper parameters? So Uber is trading at $40. So I take my $40 and I times it times 70%, and that's $28. So the hedge has to be at least at $28 to not be changed, and it's at 30. So $28 minimum, but it's at 30, so it's good for now. So our hedge is fine, and you can see that I don't own any shares or anything, because last week what I did was I did the traditional wheel where I sold a put and I did not get assigned. So I'm going to go ahead and sell another put this week. Okay. All right. So did you guys not see the spreadsheet on there? Let me see here. That's interesting, because I'm showing to show this screen. All right. That's interesting, because I have this screen up and then I bring the spreadsheet onto this screen, but I guess it's not showing the spreadsheet. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to fix that problem later, but you heard all the numbers there. And I'll figure out why the spreadsheet didn't show up on the live stream. I thought it would. Okay. All right. So what are we going to do here? We are going to sell a put out of the money. We want to get at least 1%. So we're at the $40. So I could sell the 40, I mean, it's right at the money, but the 39.50 is one that I'm going to go with. If I went to the 39, it's not giving me like 39 cents. So it doesn't really qualify. It doesn't have enough premium, but the 39.50 has more than 40 cents. So I'm going to sell this one, and I'm going to do one of those because I have between $5,000 and $10,000. So the mid price is 45. Let's see if I can get 46 for it. ran away from me there. That's fine. So I got $44. Now I want to protect that hedge, the put hedge that I have, just in case. And I'm going to buy something for, I won't pay, I'm going to pay $5, maybe 6. So I'll go with the 43. Maybe I can get it for $5. I'm going to buy one call. I probably have to pay $6 for it. I won't pay 7. Okay. So now we have on the wheel strategy, and it's also hedged. Okay. And I want to make sure if you guys have any questions about that, that you bring it up. And I'm kind of surprised. I put in the spreadsheet right here in this on this screen, but it's not showing up. Maybe I have to redo this. Let's see here. Present. Let me share screen here. There it is. So maybe I have to just toggle back and forth. See, as I move something out of the screen, I'm moving it out of the screen right now, but it's not, it's kind of like a snapshot, I guess, when I'm doing this live stream. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get into answering any questions or reading, looking over the comments. Kevin, good morning. Dev, how you doing? Walter says it sounds good. Kevin says you can hear me. Audio working. Okay. Hello. All right. Charles, could you show your P&L curve on earnings edge? What you mean is the how much money I've made in like the spreadsheet. So it would show like the profit and losses, I'm assuming. I don't really have that. I haven't done that. I can show you something a little detailed about the earnings edge here. Let me move that in here. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit. That's interesting. Okay. So with the earnings edge, I've got my record right here of what's happened. So you can see that I took a loss the first trade, and then I had some winners. It's interesting how it's kind of streaky too. Losses, I broke even. So I had some losses in a row, had some winners in a row. I took another loss here, so you can see the drawdowns. But I don't have that on a chart or a graph or anything. That's the earnings edge numbers there. Since I made a tweak in late 2022 to the system. Hopefully that answered your question. Oh, my audio cut out. Okay, make sure my audio sound cutting in and out. Okay. Okay, the audio, how's my audio doing doing right now? Is it working okay? Because I can switch over. Okay. Can you post a summary for each system, return, drawdown, etc.? Yeah, so let me go through this really quick. So you can see here, average win, average loss. You can see the drawdown returns. This is 2022, 2023. These are the numbers. Started with 5,000, ended with 8, so I made 3. Started with 81, up to 87. So you can see the numbers there for the earnings edge. And then the Premier level 5 started with 30,000, went to 33, started with 33, went to 35. So you can see the numbers and the drawdowns. And then the safe wheel, you can see the same. These numbers are a little bit off. I'm going to switch, the spreadsheet needs to be updated a little better, but it's, pretty good numbers here that you can see on the safe wheel itself. These are good numbers. Okay, can't see the spreadsheets. Okay, I know you can now. Let's see here. Less is more. I like that. When selecting wheel candidates, do you consider more stable stocks such as those that pay dividends? Well, I do consider stocks, interestingly, between $20 and $40. And as far as the stability, I look at, I want to make sure I get enough premium. So out of the money premium, I want to get at least 1% out of the money. So for example, I just got like $44 for something that was out of the money uh, at the 39.50 strike. So I needed to get at least like $39 or $40. So that kind of determines how uh, volatile the stock is. I also kind of have a rule, but it's kind of a guideline where I want to have the IV between 60 and 100. I don't like them too rocky and crazy over 100 IV. And even Uber is under 60 IV right now, so it's kind of a guideline. But I was able to also still get out of the money over 1% of what the strike price was. Uber almost misses two of your criteria, over 40 and under 60. Yeah, it's starting to, I'm going to have to get rid of it. I wanted to, but I like, first of all, like if Uber goes over $40, I am not going to get out of it until my put hedge has been consumed. In other words, when I'm done with my put hedge, that means I would be done with that cycle, and that's what I'll get out. It's not like if Uber goes to $42, I get out. It's more about the put hedge determines when I get out. But when I get out of Uber at 40, let's say it goes to $42 and I get out, well, I'm not going to look at Uber again as another candidate to get back in. We can now see the spreadsheets. Yes. So I can kind of see what you guys see all on my left-hand screen here. My right screen is the screen we see together that's supposed to be what you guys see. And on the left-hand side, I can kind of see what you guys see. So I can see that, yeah, it's the spreadsheet's in there right now. Settle at 12:30 p.m. Saturday. Um, from my experience, once the options close, once you close on Friday, that's your price. I haven't seen the price move much after that. Um, maybe with SPX might be a little different, but because they, when they actually expire. So yeah, when you're talking about an option that actually expires, you might fall, yeah, it might fall into that 12:30 p.m. Saturday. I used to know this right off the top of my head, but I haven't experienced anything with this in so long. I don't remember the exact details. Or realize that it's going to expire worthless. And I kind of make my decision at that point. That's really the only thing that I worry about in terms of hitting that expiration Friday is whether that long call is in the money or not, and whether I can sell it or not. So as far as the hours and settlement on 12:30, um, I don't see that as affecting the trade very much. Can you show the spreadsheet for earnings edge? Yes, I just did that. Do you have any recommended stock screening tools? Price is easy enough to filter, but other metrics seem harder to find in a screening tool. So like a tool that would do that. No, I'm not really up on, I mean, you see how my spreadsheet is. there was a few things missing. I mean, I'm not really up on tools, really. I just kind of use the guidelines. So I'll just look at question number 1 and I'll just look at it from whatever tool I can find. And then I'll go to number 2. Are tools, or somebody can probably put something like that together, but I'm just not like that. Get into the weeds. I don't get into weeds that much, because then I find that those tools sometimes they break, and then it's like I'm spending more time fixing the tool than I am actually, than what the sound is cutting sometimes. Okay. We don't see the, oh, it's for the earnings edge. You want to see the spreadsheet for the earnings edge. There it is. Remember a situation where Tesla moved down sharply after hours. Some people with spreads got burned. Oh, I understand, because the broker exercised the short put, but not the long call. Yeah, that can happen. Definitely. The only thing we have to really worry about, well, let me think about that. So if we're short, well, I'm not worried about getting assigned. And I'm not really worried about that aspect of things when it comes to that long call. Um, I think you're more talking about people that are really leveraged and they have a short, even call spread or short put spread or a short call or short put, and they're leveraged, and they can really get hurt because they're trying to get out of there fast, or they're just trying to make a percentage of their profit, and they're highly leveraged. But when we're doing cash secured puts, I'm not really too worried about that. Plus, we have a hedge on, so again, not worried about that scenario too much. It's still the safe way. Yeah, okay, so I moved it up for you there. When you consider IV, what is that referencing to? Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna take this out of here. That's not moving on here, so let me fix it. Okay, so currently my spreadsheet is not there, but I'm wondering how I can. Let me do this. I'm gonna have to present the screen again. Okay. What am I talking about? So I'm looking at Uber here, and I go into the trade tab. I'm looking at this IV here. So typically I like to see these numbers kind of average over around 60 and under 100. You can see they're pretty low. For some reason, the IV on Uber has dropped. Maybe it's because the overall IV has dropped with the market, right? So probably that's kind of has an effect on the overall IV of Uber and other stocks too. So Uber currently would not, if I were to start over, I would not use Uber, or I should not use Uber. I did use it. I did start over and use it, and I didn't check this because I knew and collect more than the strike price. So the strike price here is $39.50. You can only get $37. That would not qualify. Here's the strike price is 40. You can get 54. That does qualify. Is it out of the money? Yes. You can see that it's out of the money. Well, Uber's moving up pretty good. So Uber still qualifies, but as a guideline, it doesn't qualify because this isn't above 60. Will, audio went out during the talk of tool usage. There was a mic pop and then it came back in. I had my backup mic ready to go, but it seems like it's working fine right now. So out of the tool usage. So as far as the tool usage, I don't have a tool. that I use. I don't write code. And when I look at something, I just kind of use Thinkorswim and I just go through each thing one at a time rather than having some overall tool that has all my metrics set in front of me. And I feel that you set things up like that, and sometimes they kind of break down, and you kind of spend more time trying to keep those things working than you do the benefit that you get out of them. That's just my experience, and I'm not a code writer, so I don't like trying to refix things. Things around as I need them to answer my questions, rather than having it all in one spot. Richard says Fidelity uses a closing price at 8 p.m. Okay, so yeah, I guess they have different brokers have different time frames of when they actually close out options. And Richard says to determine assignments, not sure about other brokers. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, then I guess the close is not when they determine it, and it is determined at other times. Walter, thought loss was limited to 500 because of spread, but blew up a $30,000 account. Yeah. So, yeah, because so the $500 was at risk because that was the spread width, and they only dollars exactly, and that's because they were leveraged, right? As opposed to cash secured, um, like we are with the safe wheel. A spread where the short of the money, but the long ends out of the money. Yeah, and your buying power, because that long that you're holding is not protecting you anymore. It's expired. Yeah, exactly. And the mic is randomly going out, but not very often. Yeah, I could have switched over to my other mic. I got it ready to go right here, but I'm kind of coming to the end of the broadcast. So next time, I'll probably, once I know there's a mic problem, I'll just shoot right out of it right away. And also the my new spreadsheet, but that kind of worked and kind of didn't work. But I'll figure things out as we go on these live streams. But okay, don't see anything else, any other questions or anything. I just want to say also the Safe Wheel guidelines, they're available. There's a link in the description. So you can get the whole Safe Wheel system for under $100. Also, if you want to learn how to trade the earnings edge right here, I have an alert system where you can follow the earnings edge, or if you want to learn to trade the earnings edge, I'm sorry, the Premier Level 5. I have an alert system where you can follow the Premier Level 5, or if you want to learn the Premier Level 5 and use it without me, same thing. I also have a alert system. The thing is, the alerts kind of seem to overpower the cost of the benefit. I mean, you still made money with it. If you followed all my trades and everything, you made money. But if you learn it on your own, you could have made a lot more money. You could have created a lot more occurrences, because I only do one occurrence, maybe average of 3 occurrences a month. You could probably do up to 5 or 10 occurrences a month. Bring up your occurrences and make more, as long as the numbers still work out the way they are, the win-loss ratios. And there's a link in the description for the Earnings Edge course itself, so you can buy the actual course and trade it on your own. We also have a Discord channel for people that are trading it on their own. They are communicating in there and showing what their picks and showing their results and things like that. All right, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description for that at Carl Dom. and hit the like and subscribe button. It would help out the channel a lot if you guys hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. And let's see. One more here. Let's see. Bought the wheel flow chart system last night. Looks awesome. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. If you have any questions about that, bring it up in the live stream or in the comments of any of these live stream videos. Video on Sored. I'm not sure what that means. Thanks, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate you chiming in on the information about when those options expire with your particular broker. Okay, one thing I like to say in parting, I am going to end the broadcast now. If the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I'll be back next week.